What's going on, guys? Welcome back. More NASCAR Fantasy for you here with Casey Simon, Regional Director of USA Today. We're going to break down the 35th Annual Axalta We Paint Winners 400 from Pocono, Pennsylvania. Going to start off with some trends in this race. Casey, I see a lot of races come down to fuel mileage at Pocono. It's a long track. It's a difficult track to get set up. You've got, three very different turns, a very complex racetrack, obviously no turn 4. It leads to a car that's ill handling in at least one of the 3 turns. So I think this is going to be something where you look at Cruz today. We didn't think we're going to have the ability to qualify. They certainly did. Brad Keselowski on the pole. What are you seeing, though, as trends in this race from a fan's perspective?
Well, when I look back at the past races, I see that 6 of the last 7 Cup races have been won by Chevy, 5 of those 7 by Hendrick Motorsports. I think we're going to see that trend change a little bit this year. With the Penske Force qualified fast today, both up front. So I think we're going to see that trend change a little bit, and we're going to see these Toyotas, especially these JGR Toyotas and these Fords, get up to the front and stay up there this week.
So taking a look at some premier drivers, I actually have my eye on 2 specific drivers, both drivers that have no wins. When we talk about fuel mileage, I think we talk about desperate teams. You have to look at, drivers like Joey Logano. Look at a car especially like Kurt Busch that's ran well in the past. I think both of them are going to be solidly up front contending for a win. And one of them, I think we all know before we get to the chase, they're probably going to end up with a win anyway, but I think some of these teams are going to be really taken in by the lure of, staying out, trying to maximize strategy, and maybe try to secure a win, if not kind of steal a win here this weekend.
I'm going to look at the guys that's starting up front, the Penske Fords, Logano and Keselowski. I'm going to go back a little bit further to the 7th and 8th spot, Jimmy Johnson and Dale Jr. and those Hendrick Chevys. Kurt Busch starting at number 9. Those are going to be my 3 guys I think are going to get up to the front early and stay up there the rest of the day.
I also think we're going to probably see good runs out of last year's winner, that being Martin Truex, who's been on an absolute tear, and obviously Matt Kenseth, you mentioned there. To go to some kind of mid-tier drivers, I'll tell you one driver that really stands out to me. He ran very well there last year in a bit of a smaller team, but a lot of solid backing is Ty Dillon. I think Ty can run very well. I also think Jamie McMurray can run well there. He's ran well at Pocono in the past. And although I wasn't a fan of Kyle Larson the last time we talked for Dover, I think Kyle Larson has improved and matured a lot as a driver. He's kept his equipment pretty clean for the most part this year. And when you talk about a track that you really need to attack, I think Kyle Larson is great at doing that, and I think this is going to suit him very well this weekend.
I'm right on board with you with Ty Dillon and Kyle Larson. When we talked last time, we talked about these young drivers, Austin Dillon and the Ryan Blaney's and the Chase Elliott. I'm still on their bandwagon this week. Those guys qualified really well. I'm also looking at Greg Biffle. He qualified 15th this week. We're starting to see them kind of turn the corner now and qualify better. They're racing better. They're staying more competitive now. They had a rough start to the season. I think this is the week they turn the corner.
And to close things out, some guys I don't like. I don't like Chris Buescher. Great guy, saw him win some marker races, but to go back and have him start 18th, little bit high, and I don't think that car has that staying power to run that well. And I also don't like Eric Almirola. He struggled at Pocono at times. 16th is a little bit too high for me to want to take him.
Somebody I don't like this week is actually qualified well, starting in the 6th position, Tony Stewart. I just don't see it from Tony Stewart yet. I think it's going to be a few more races before he really gets comfortable in that car again. I think he had some trouble last week. He said he was really sore about halfway through that 600-mile race. I'm going to stay away from him this weekend. But a couple other guys, Casey Kane qualified 11th. I'm not going to touch him. I'm with you, Eric Almirola in 16th. Anybody past 20, I'm really going to stay away from this weekend. This is a track that historically has proven really difficult to move from the middle or the back of the pack up towards the front. Only one driver in the last 7 Cup races has started outside the top 9 and finished in the top position. So I'm going to avoid all those guys from 20 on back.
All right, so guys, appreciate any criticism you would leave for us. Would really appreciate if we could at least get 1 subscriber. I think we ended last week with about 60 views, so that's not too bad. We will be back, though, next week after Michigan qualifying to break down that event. Thank you guys for watching this video.